What's going on, guys? It's Michael MGF, and today I'm going to be doing another LEGO Star Wars 2014 analysis video on this year's summer lineup that was just revealed at Toy Fair 2014, and these sets look really great, especially because we have the debut of Star Wars Rebels vehicles and characters. Only 2 sets from the upcoming series, but still really awesome, and a lot of great remakes such as the B-Wing, the Snowspeeder, the Mos Eisley Cantina, and just some other really great sets with this lineup, and really looking forward to doing the rest of this analysis video for you guys. It's gonna be a little bit long, but if you stick around, be sure to let me know in the comments because you are awesome. But a huge thanks to FBTV for attending the event and providing these images publicly, because without them you probably wouldn't be seeing this video right now, so huge thanks to them. Link to their site will be in the description below, but without further ado, let's go ahead and start off with the first set for the summer lineup of LEGO Star Wars. Alright, so the way this is going to work is we're going to discuss the minifigures before moving on to the actual set. And when I say set, I mean the vehicle itself, but obviously not in that case of the Mos Eisley Cantina, because the Mos Eisley Cantina is not actually a vehicle. But anyway, so this is the first Star Wars Rebels set. And I honestly, the news that the Clone Wars had reached such an abrupt ending last year probably ruined the beginning of 2013 for me, and really glad that we'll be seeing the final story arcs on Netflix on March 7th, but still, I probably wouldn't be where I am today without the Clone Wars. I wouldn't know the people I know, and I would be a very different person without the Clone Wars, so it's really sad to see Star Wars, the Clone Wars go, and hopefully Rebels will be great. I'm not going to go over my actual opinion on the characters that we've been seeing, that have been revealed so far, but anyway, the minifigures that are included with the Ghost, we have about 3, not all of them, but 3 of the main characters from the new series. And it's really great. For the most part, we have Kanan, who is the new Jedi, practically what I would assume will be the main character for Star Wars Rebels, and he's a really cool character. He has a really great face, and you might notice something right off the bat. Something really noticeable is the fact that the Clone Wars sets actually had an animated look. They had, like, you know, much different looking eyes than most minifigures, and that same animated look was not carried over with the Star Wars Rebels sets, and instead they stuck to a more live action looking type of design for each face, which I thought was interesting and definitely worth pointing out. And you can see the same being used on Kanan, who does have a really nice variety of colors on him, with a dark green arm, an olive green torso, and his skin color being a little bit darker than most. And you'll notice he does also have a blue lightsaber, some really nice printed legs, and just a great design overall. And his hairpiece is actually a new mold, and what's great about it is if you didn't see Lucasfilm's latest reveal video about Kanan, you'll notice, you wouldn't know that this hairpiece here is actually really accurate to his appearance, so that's really great. It's nice to see the LEGO group making a new mold for this minifigure, and he does have an alternative facial expression, which is more cocky and more arrogant looking, so that's really great, and definitely a great minifigure overall. And then moving on, we have Zeb, and Zeb, I assume, will be like the Chewbacca of the series. Maybe he'll actually talk, maybe he won't, but regardless, he kind of looks like a Zygerian. If any of you guys remember those guys from the Clone Wars, it looks like a similar species, perhaps not, but you'll notice that he is more of a pinkish color than purple, which is definitely pretty interesting, a very unique color. He's got an orange look to him, and just a really great new mold overall that was used for the head, and the printing on that is phenomenal. The eyes and the, you know, the goatee, it's just all really great, and the torso and leg printing looks really nice. This guy has yet to be revealed officially by Lucasfilm, so it's pretty hilarious how the LEGO group has been revealing all of these characters that Lucasfilm has tried so hard to keep secret. Kind of funny on my, you know, if you ask me, but what's up? What is he holding? What is that? I don't understand what that is. It's literally a lightsaber hilt with blasters shoved on each end. I mean, is he gonna, like, use it as if it's a double-bladed lightsaber, but instead a blaster, and shoot with it on both ends? I mean, we don't know, because Lucasfilm hasn't shown us the character yet, but that has pushed the limit of stupidity with design, and it kind of makes me lose a little bit of respect for the LEGO group, given that they actually are manufacturing that as an accessory. So I don't know what's up with that. But moving on, we have Hera, and Hera is yet another character that has yet to be revealed by Lucasfilm, but she's still a pretty cool looking character. Obviously, she's a green Twi'lek from Ryloth, and you'll notice she does use the same mold that was used on Aayla Secura back in the 2010 Turbo Tank, but this time it's green with some very unique printing. She's got goggles printed on top, which is definitely pretty cool, and the torso printing, leg printing, all looking phenomenal. She has a dark brown torso and some nice dark tan arms. She has a standard pistol, and she actually has two facial expressions and some pretty basic expressions, nothing really that interesting, but she looks like she'll be a pretty cool character. We don't know yet, but just waiting on that reveal video that Lucasfilm will probably put out in a week or so. And then a controversial minifigure in this set, and it's the Stormtrooper. It's a really cool Stormtrooper if you ask me. We'll get into the actual Stormtroopers that are in the AT-AT and the Mos Eisley Cantina. To me, those Stormtroopers are worse, and this one I'm actually really fond of. I mean, this is supposed to look like an animated Stormtrooper. This is not meant to look like, you know, the Stormtroopers that we're seeing in the AT-AT and the Mos Eisley Cantina. It's supposed to look like an animated Ralph McQuarrie type looking Stormtrooper, and I think they nailed it. I think it looks great. The new design is nice, it's detailed, the new torso is great, the leg printing is phenomenal. It's about time we're getting some pretty decent leg printing on Stormtroopers, but one problem. He's got a live-action clone trooper head. I mean, maybe in Star Wars Rebels it'll be some sort of story like the Stormtroopers are clone troopers, left over from the, you know, the Clone Wars, but I don't know what that's about. Hopefully the LEGO group will change that, and that's preliminary, but I doubt it's preliminary, so that kind of sucks. I'm gonna probably rave over that in my review, because they could have just easily included a normal Stormtrooper head, or perhaps just a black head. I mean, no need for a clone head there. But moving on, that's pretty much it for the minifigures. So actually, let's go ahead and take a look at the Ghost itself, which somehow has 929 pieces. So here we go with the Ghost itself, which will practically serve as the Millennium Falcon for Star Wars Rebels, the home base ship for all 4 of these new main characters that will be leading the way through the Empire's forces in Star Wars Rebels. And looking forward to this ship. I mean, it's a really great design. It's colorful with different white and gray areas and some sand green incorporated here and there, orange and some really dark yellow, some tan areas. It's a really colorful ship. It's a very unique design. This ship was revealed pretty early on before we saw all these main characters that were recently revealed by Lucasfilm, and it's a really great design. It's very unique, like I said, and the LEGO group did a brilliant job with capturing the look of this ship. It's got a pretty high piece count, but it's understandable because this is an iconic ship, and definitely one that the LEGO group just had to lead flagship-wise when starting off the lineup of Star Wars Rebels sets to come. And you'll notice that with this set, it's just got a wide variety of different details and different techniques used. The sides of it are primarily just plating, you know, obviously attached with some sort of angular bricks. You know, obviously we didn't really get that close into the interior of this vehicle, but it's got a really unique and detailed underbelly, even with some stickers on the underside of it, which is interesting. You don't usually see stickers on the underside of vehicles, but it's still pretty awesome, and apparently it will have an actual escape pod, which is definitely pretty awesome. Always great to see effective and fully functioning escape pods within different vehicles. The cockpits are fully opening. There's a rotatable cannon on the top that you're supposed to seat Zeb in. It's got the spring-loaded shooter on the top, various stickers across this thing, even some upside down pieces toward the back of the area, which you don't usually see on LEGO sets, so that's really cool. I mean, this vehicle is awesome. It looks like a total piece of junk that they're going to be flying around just like the Millennium Falcon, and it still looks really great. And you do have a little bit of an interior with some opening flaps, as you can see on the you know, the back side of this thing, and a little bit of detail within there, some yellow lights. It's just pretty cool, and the engines themselves are awesome as well, using some trans orange pieces, and just a really great set overall. And looks like it's going to be a huge seller on the LEGO group's part, and definitely going to be probably one of the more exciting sets of this lineup. And taking a look at the back of the box, you can actually see these features that we just saw in those photos. because I guess the people who took the photos from FBTB didn't get that much access they might have wanted. But you'll notice that the actual cannon, the rotating cannon that you're supposed to put Zeb in, he actually stands in it, and then the actual sort of dome piece goes on top of him, and then you just slide it right back down into the actual ghost ship. And you'll notice apparently on the right side of the box you have two giant flaps that open up as well. I don't know what you're supposed to put in there or what's going to be stored in there, but it's still pretty cool looking nonetheless. And some nice action shots on the back there as well. And this entire ship, this entire ghost ship that's going to be the the Millennium Falcon of Star Wars Rebels, just looks like it'll be fantastic, and I'm really looking forward to the show, guys. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not too impressed with the overall concept and the direction that Lucasfilm seems to be taking. I'll get into that. If you go ahead and check out MGF Extra, you'll hear my actual opinion on what Star Wars Rebels is shaping out to be. I'll give it the benefit of the doubt though, because this ship and these characters do still look pretty awesome, and that's why I am really looking forward to getting this set. So moving on with the next and unfortunately last Star Wars Rebels set for the summer 2014 lineup, it doesn't seem like the LEGO group was too fond of the idea of just flooding the entire summer lineup with Star Wars Rebels sets. Who knows what went on with that, but starting off with the two minifigures included with this set, we've got Ezra. And I'm not too fond of the way this character is shaping out to be. He's practically just Aladdin with force powers and a lightsaber. So I really hope the team over at Lucasfilm know what they're doing, because I'm kind of scared for this series. But above all, it's still a solid representation of what Ezra is revealed to be in that video that Lucasfilm put out recently. And it's a great facial expression that you can see on his head there. The torso is accurate with his dark tan jacket, and the leg printing though is kind of interesting. You'll notice that the leg printing clearly just cuts off. I mean, you can tell that clearly there was some sort of design that was supposed to be, I guess, a full knee pad that was just cut off, and that's kind of bad looking. That doesn't look right. It looks like a misprint, as if something went wrong, and I don't know how the LEGO group just figures we can all just overlook that, because that's pretty noticeable and pretty unfortunate for this minifigure. But you'll notice that clearly he's got this orange brownish color, which is pretty awesome, and he utilizes the standard black long hairpiece, which is also very nice to see. A standard pistol, but what's really awesome about Ezra here is the fact that he does have a newly molded Stormtrooper helmet. Now this Stormtrooper helmet, if I'm not mistaken, has not yet been seen in the Star Wars universe. Perhaps it was an early Ralph McQuarrie concept that I have yet to see myself, but it is a new mold regardless, and clearly he'll be wearing it at some point in Star Wars Rebels, and it's got some phenomenal printing on this new mold, and just a really nice level of detail. And the next minifigure we have though is Chopper, and Chopper is just absolutely phenomenal. I mean, he's just a really great looking Astromech overall. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, those are new Astromech legs and a new Astromech torso, but I know the head is not a new piece, it's a repurposed piece, but you know, why not? It's accurate and it looks great. The detail is there, the accuracy is there, and no complaints with Chopper. He's going to be a great Astromech droid in the show. Really looking forward to that character, and the LEGO group did a great job portraying him. But the Phantom, a little bit more questionable. Lucasfilm just barely revealed Ezra as a character this week, or this past week, so I don't know what's going on with this ship, the Phantom. Clearly, it's a ship that Ezra will be piloting at some point in Star Wars Rebels. Perhaps he used it to escape off the homeworld that he's lived on all of his life, and it's some sort of revolutionary moment for the character. Who knows what will happen in the series? Lucasfilm has yet to show us any of this, so I don't know what's going on here, but this is definitely not the most intimidating looking ship. It looks like the type of thing that you would just build if you were given a pile of Lego pieces. So, I mean, it is what it is though, and it looks okay. It looks like it'll probably be about 20 bucks, if that. But regardless, you'll notice that it does have the spring-loaded shooter on the very top, which is great to see. The spring-loaded shooters, while they don't really look like Lego, they're still an effective playability feature. This vehicle does have its share of stickers on both sides of it. You can see like a little sort of like wing symbol. You have yet another wing symbol right below the spring-loaded shooter, so that's pretty cool. The cockpit piece we've seen before. It's really not that exciting in terms of its general look. It's got a sticker on the side of it as well for just some additional detail, and a very, very simple looking vehicle, and it's really small too. I don't know what the ship is about. It's got some standard cannons in the front which don't actually do anything. It's got some very basic looking engines as well, which aren't that interesting, but if we look at the back of the box here, unlike the photos that FBTB was able to get, you'll notice that there's a lot more to this set than what those photos just showed you. And that is the fact that if you fold the wings in, it actually is capable of fitting into the back of the Ghost. And what this primarily means is this set will, I guess, already be built into the Ghost. I don't know how it'll work. Perhaps you'll have to buy this set separately to complete your Ghost vehicle. I don't know myself. I mean, maybe that's a cool feature with that the Ghost will have in the show, is that Zeb can hop in the ship and then detach, and then they'll have two ships fending off TIE fighters. I don't know, but it's still pretty awesome. And very rarely do you see other ships that can be just attached to other ships. So that's really an awesome, awesome feature. And not to mention the fact that you can detach the cockpit of the actual Phantom here, and what that could perhaps reveal is the fact that the front of the Phantom wouldn't be attached to the rest of it, and that you can just go ahead and attach the cockpit of the Phantom to the Ghost whenever you want. I don't know. I mean, it looks pretty cool though, I gotta say. And if you look in the bottom left hand corner of the box, you'll notice that Ezra does have an alternative facial expression, which definitely looks pretty awesome as well. And not to mention the fact that the entire top half of the Phantom can actually lift off, and you can go ahead and store your chopper minifigure right in there. And it does have a hatch in the back. It's got that folding wing feature, which I already went over. So it's a really solid set, and I definitely think it's not the set itself that's awesome. It's the feature that you can go ahead and actually attach it to the Ghost, which is awesome. So that's it for the Star Wars Rebels sets. I can't wait to see what Star Wars Rebels ends up becoming. I'm not too impressed with what Lucasfilm has shown us, but hopefully it'll shape out to be something awesome on Disney XD this fall, and looking forward to what the LEGO Group is able to produce for the show. The Mos Eisley Cantina. It has been since 2004. The year that I began to love Star Wars, that we got a Mos Eisley Cantina, and that's a long time. That's about 10 years, and it's just phenomenal to see that the LEGO Group is finally bringing the set back in a modern form, and it looks great. The updates to the minifigures are fantastic and really an exciting set overall. And starting off with the minifigures here, we have a new Sand Trooper, and this Sand Trooper using the new Stormtrooper design is really awesome. But a problem that I personally have with these Stormtroopers is the mouth. I don't think the mouth is quite right. I like the Stormtroopers that were included in the Star Wars Rebels sets, but this guy, while it's a great design, the legs, torso, the entire helmet is great, but the mouth on the helmet is what really bothers me, and it's not the greatest design. The LEGO Group could have easily made it look a little better, but I mean, counting that factor out, this looks great. I mean, you see the weathering on that, the dirt effect. It's just a brilliant looking minifigure aside from the, the mouth, which is, I mean, generally a minor flaw. So it's overlookable in the long run, and he's got a nice ammo pouch on his chest there, just a nice and accurate minifigure overall. And he has the signature pauldron that the Sand Troopers use, and the signature backpack, which does not have an updated design to it, but who cares? It's a great design, it always was. And then we have Ben Kenobi. This is a really nice reinvention of the minifigure. It has been, we've practically received the same looking Ben Kenobi minifigures since Ben Kenobi was a thing in terms of LEGO. So that's really awesome that the LEGO Group has finally taken into consideration that they actually can just go ahead and print the robe onto the minifigure and make it look right, because that is a really interesting design, how he's got the Jedi cloak printed on rather than having just a cape and his entire Jedi robes being exposed. So I just think that's a really unique and inventive and innovative design. So that's great. And the design, like the ripples in his clothing and the belt, and you know, how the Jedi robe extends past the belt and onto his legs. It just looks phenomenal, and this is a new head for Ben Kenobi. No new hairpiece, no new lightsaber, obviously. Why did I say lightsaber? We're never going to get new lightsabers, but the head is really great. I mean, it's not the best head. I honestly prefer the old Ben Kenobi head, but it's still pretty nice regardless, and the back printing is also nice, and nothing too exciting on the back, however. But moving on, we've got the Bith Cantina Players. It's about time. I mean, this has been too long without Bith Cantina Players. They are signature characters in Star Wars, and it is just about time, and the LEGO Group nailed it with these. The new mold used for the head is phenomenal. The eyes look great. The printing around the eyes, the different little pimples and spots, not necessarily pimples, but the spots that they have on their skin. Great minifigure. The torso is great, and a really nice design for their instruments. So, I mean, overall, absolutely zero complaints with them. They just look awesome, and I'm looking forward to them probably the most in this set. And the reason I'm looking forward to them the most in this set, aside from Greedo, is Greedo, while he's cool, it's just the simple fact that it's a little bit too light on the blue. The blue, I don't think that blue is the right color. I think a sand blue would have been more appropriate, or some other, you know, more dull looking blue, because that's just too bright. And it's great to see Greedo again, though, now with a sand green color tone, and those eyes look great. I mean, it really captures the look of a Rodian's eyes right down to it. It's just great, and the torso is also fantastic. It's just the only problem with our first Greedo here in 10 years is the fact that the color blue is a little bit too light, but overall, you can probably fix that with your own combinations yourself, and the back printing is nothing too exciting either. But the Han Solo included with this set is literally just the exact same Han Solo that we got with the microfighters. The torso is not new, but the head is new with a really emotionless facial expression for the front, and then an all, you know, humorous and hilarious type expression for the back. And then the legs are also new with some new buckles and some new straps, so that's pretty cool. Standard Han Solo blaster, and yeah. So Luke is also pretty awesome. He's practically got the same torso, but he's got new legs, which definitely look pretty great, and he does have a new head, which I believe does have an alternative facial expression. Be sure to correct me in the comments if I am mistaken, but FBTB was unfortunately not able to get a decent enough shot of the minifigure based on what I'm looking at right now. But yeah, so the Cantina itself is actually pretty awesome too. In the remake of the Mos Eisley Cantina, there are 3 components here: the Cantina playset itself, the Landspeeder, and the dewback. And starting off with the dewback, you'll notice it's really great. The saddle consisting of a pretty decent amount of pieces, looking great, and the printing on the dewback is really nice. The eyes really capture the look of a dewback, and not to mention the scaling sort of look. Really great design, nice reinvention of it, and it's fantastic to see it again. It's been a really long time. But moving on with the Landspeeder. The Landspeeder is practically your average Landspeeder. There's nothing really new to it, aside from a few different stickers that are on the engine turbines, and it's really practically the same thing, like I said, just really with a updated color. So that's really it for the Landspeeder. Nothing really too excitingly new about it, nothing really worth noting, just a different color scheme. And yeah, so what's really cool, something else about the dewback is you'll notice that it does actually have an opening and closing mouth, which is really nice. Great to see that design carried over from the original, and it does have some teeth molded in there as well, which also looks very nice. And yeah, then moving on to the Cantina itself, starting off with the iconic scenario, who shot first? There it is, right there, and it's awesome. It looks great, the chairs look, you know, pretty accurate. It's just, the scene wasn't really this confined, they weren't this close together, there was some space between the table and the chairs, and they, you know, it's a playset, you can't get everything in something of this size, but still really nice to see that iconic scene captured in LEGO for the first time in 10 years, and not to mention the sliding door that this set has, and you can see some nice antennas surrounded by that, and clearly based on the hinge pieces, this entire Cantina playset does fold up, which is also really nice, and it's really great to see that, similar to that of the Simpsons house, which I still want to review. And then we also have the Cantina cantina bar itself. Now, something disappointing about this is we don't have a bartender. I think it would have been great to have a bartender, because look at poor blurry Luke. I mean, you don't have a bartender to give him drinks, and he's just standing there all sad, and I feel bad for him because I can't do anything because I don't have a bartender. And regardless, though, the design with the actual, bar area looks great, especially the gold device on the left there. I don't know the name of it. I'm sorry, I don't drink yet. And then we actually do have Blaster, which is attached to the cash register, which is pretty cool. Kind of shows that the hostility of Tatooine, so that's really nice as well. But I mean, above all, it's pretty much just your basic, playset in terms of its functionality. And it folds up. You have the, oh gosh, what are they called again? It's like Harvest something. I forgot what they're called. It's like Harvesters or something along those lines that they sort of they captivate a certain, I guess, moisture. Gosh, I don't remember the name of these guys. I do apologize, but to those of you who do know them, who maybe have taken the trip to Wikipedia by now, be sure to let me know what these are called in the comments below, because I have it. It's on the tip of my finger, but I forgot. But they're included with the set. They're pretty cool. Nice design to those. And then we have a couple of extra chairs hidden behind that little area right there, which is pretty cool to see. And for the most part, though, that's really it for the Mos Eisley Cantina. And right there, you can see it all folded up and completely, closed up and confined, making it more confined than it already is. But yeah, so then the back, you can see it's pretty much all the same features that we just went over there. You can see the land speeder having the same sort of feature with the fact that you can lift the top off of it. Nothing new there. And man, those Biff Cantina players, so looking forward to those. Really awesome. And yeah, guys, the first Mos Eisley Cantina set in 10 years. That's a long freaking time. That's a really long time. So it's about time. Now the AT-AT. How many AT-ATs have we had? I lost count, and I'm sure you did too. But that's okay, because I skipped out on all the AT-ATs up until this point. I didn't get any of them. You can go through my channel. I don't have an AT-AT. I've never owned one. So it's kind of great to see the LEGO Group remaking it just one more time for us, because I'll definitely make it a point to grab this one, as I'm getting tired of being AT-AT-less, or AT-AT-less, whatever you want to call it. I always called it an AT-AT growing up. But anyway, the first thing to note on with the minifigures here is the Snowtroopers. The Snowtroopers have an entirely new design, and they look phenomenal. And it's just like sort of Chewbacca. It's the type of minifigure that we've had for so long that we begin to forget the fact that they look super outdated. So it's really revealing to see the LEGO Group update them and make them look so much better than we thought they were already. So that's pretty awesome. And this new mold for these Snowtroopers looks so much more accurate and so much more realistic to the way they appeared in the films. And the printing, we now have printing instead of the eye holes, and they look great as well. Nice and thin and more accurate looking, with some nice outlining running under under them. So that's pretty awesome. And the torso printing, if I'm not mistaken, is nothing new. So that's, that's that. But then the waist capes. Waist capes on Snowtroopers, that's a first, and they're white waist capes, and that's also a first. So, I mean, these Snowtroopers are just a really great reinvention to them, but just like the Stormtrooper in the Star Wars Rebels set, and the Stormtrooper that I assume also has this problem in the Cantina, he's got a clone head. Why? I don't know, but all of these Snowtroopers have clone heads, all three of them, and that's quite a problem because they aren't clones, and I don't know what's going on there, but it's a problem and it needs to be addressed, so that sucks. But other than that, you can swap the head out. It's not that big of a problem. They're still pretty awesome. But moving on, we do have our AT-AT pilot, and for the first time ever, we have the AT-AT pilot in a different color, and he is now in a light bluish gray, and the design is slightly updated from the previous. It's literally the same mold. The mold itself isn't new. It's just a new color for the mold, and practically really all the same details that we saw in the previous AT-AT driver, so still pretty awesome though, and never really saw the LEGO Group changing the color schemes on these two minifigures to that extent. And when I say these two minifigures, I'm also looking at you, General Veers, because his helmet and torso are now using the sand blue color, and you look at the AT-AT driver, he also has sand blue components. So practically the LEGO Group have ruled out the white color scheme for their torsos and the gray color scheme. They pretty much just totally changed the color scheme for our signature, you know, AT-AT driver and General Veers. So that's really interesting. It doesn't look bad. It's cool. I mean, why not? It's just something worth noting. And you'll also notice General Veers does have a new facial expression, which looks pretty nice. And the AT-AT driver does also suffer from that same weird, unexplained problem, and he has a clone head. And his back printing looks nice. And General Veers has a pair of binoculars, and his back printing is also pretty nice. Nothing too complex though, but definitely serves its purpose. And yeah, so that's pretty much it for the minifigures. I'm not sure if General Veers has an alternative facial expression. FBTB was unable to photograph if he did have an alternative facial expression, but regardless, there are the minifigures for the AT-AT. The infamous AT-AT itself, however, is pretty awesome. I mean, it's really similar to the previous designs. I mean, obviously, there's really nothing you can do to make an AT-AT look different once you've already made it. It's got a piece count of 1,137, so that's worth noting, but still not what you would expect based on the actual, you know, cockpit, because the cockpit, while it's really nice, it's just, you'd expect the LEGO Group to finally make a decent cockpit for AT-ATs at this point. I mean, the damn cockpit has shovels attached to the side of it. I don't know why the LEGO Group thinks that we can just look past that. You got shovels on your AT-AT. So that's not a welcome design change, in my opinion. But the cockpit is really just a bunch of Technic that you can just try to cram minifigures into. It's definitely not very spacious. But I mean, I guess it still serves a purpose for at least being able to fit the AT-AT driver and General Veers. But yeah, so I mean, other than that though, the back, the legs, starting with the legs, or moving on to the legs rather, the legs have a really nice amount of articulation to them. You can see you have articulation on the, you know, like the thigh joints, the, what would be the knees and the ankles. So I mean, hey, you got a pretty nice amount of articulation with this AT-AT. It's really nice and posable, and you can really create those iconic scenes from the Battle of Hoth and Empire Strikes Back. And but yeah, so looking at the back of the box though, it's a bit more revealing of just as to how the minifigures fit inside, and they fit inside pretty well. It's just, in the movie, they were never really that crammed, and we all know that, but this is how AT-ATs have been since the start. I mean, all LEGO Star Wars sets are practically all out of scale, so I mean, you really can't complain for the most part, but you can see the flaps, just like all the other AT-ATs, do open from the sides, and it's pretty cool. I mean, it just practically acts as a troop bay, though. There's really nothing exciting going on in there, and unlike the previous AT-AT that we had in like 2008 or whatever year it was, you'll notice that we have a trap door, and instead of having Luke dangling from the bottom, we've got a trap door. And honestly, I would have preferred to have Luke in this set, but that's okay because we've got some pretty awesome snowtroopers to suffice, and definitely a great remake of the AT-AT overall. For the next one, we have the highly anticipated Imperial Star Destroyer, which is in fact the largest set appearing in the LEGO Star Wars 2014 summer lineup, and it is awesome. I mean, it's about time that we received a remake of this set. And honestly, when I was just getting into LEGO, it was this set that I wanted most, and this set that I was looking forward to the most, and this set that I got for Christmas one year and never finished building. That's why I am really glad the LEGO Group has elected to, you know, manufacture a remake of this set with some updated minifigures and an updated design. While, sure, it is lacking in some areas, it is still a pretty decent remake for the most part, and I'm looking forward to it. Starting off with the minifigures here, we have Darth Vader, of course, how can you not? Pretty basic Darth Vader, if I'm not mistaken. His torso is new, but what I am, you know, absolutely positive on is the fact that his leg printing is new. First time we've ever received leg printing on a Darth Vader minifigure, and of course the helmet is new. The, you know, like the Darth Vader helmet was never wrong, and or, you know, screwed up in any way, but his head. The head. I mean, I want to say I like it. I really do, but the color is off. I think if the eye color was different and if the skin tone was different, this would have been fine. But Darth Vader's eyes were never that deep yellow in the time that we did see his face. And his skin color, sure, it is pretty tan in some ways. It's just not that tan. I think using the gray head or maybe even a flesh head with gray highlights or wrinkles or something that isn't this, because this looks more like Palpatine or perhaps even Darth Plagueis, if I pronounced that right. I'm not even sure. But regardless, not fond of the head. But we do get a hologram piece of Emperor Palpatine. It's practically just a transparent minifigure trophy piece that we've seen in minifigure series, but obviously modeled after Emperor Palpatine. And honestly, it's really exciting because people are going to be freaking doing Order 66 photos off the walls, and I will probably be one of them, so it's really nice that the LEGO Group is finally making holograms like this. It's about time. And then we do get these Stormtroopers, which you saw at the Mos Eisley Cantina. It's practically the same exact thing, just without the pauldron, without the backpack, and without the weathering. It's just a blank Stormtrooper. It's a pretty fantastic Stormtrooper. It's just the mouth could have been a little better. And then we do get a Death Star dude. His name escapes me, but we have practically seen the head before in the Death Star Troopers battle pack that was released in January. Actually, it's being released right around now on LEGO.com. It came out on the 17th. But anyway, you'll notice that the torso and legs are both new, if I'm not mistaken, and very nice, and the printing is great with the wrinkles with his Imperial attire, and not to mention the helmet, which we have seen before, but is definitely great to see again. And yeah, then we also get a couple of Imperial officers, and they look great as well. What's really fantastic about these is they actually have new caps. They have new hats, and they definitely look really great, and I'm definitely pretty excited about them because honestly, the Imperial hats were never really right up until this point, and they look great, so I'm really looking forward to that. And the facial expressions, the printing for the heads, and the printing on the torsos, and the legs on the one on the right there, really great. Definitely a much needed update to the Imperial officer look, and definitely awesome. And there's a quick view of the back of them as well. So yeah, great minifigures for the Imperial Star Destroyer. Just Darth Vader's head not working with me, honestly. So I don't fully remember what the previous Imperial Star Destroyer looked like, but you can pretty much tell that it is very similar in terms of design to the previous Imperial Star Destroyer. It captures the same concept, it opens up in the same way. It's very similar in a lot of ways, but obviously the design is much different, just not entirely noticeable at your first glance. But you'll notice something that a lot of people have pointed out is the fact that the command bridge cannot fit any minifigures like the previous variation did, and that's okay. It's nothing really, that's nothing, I mean, this entire thing is out of scale. I mean, nothing really goes in when it comes to this Imperial Star Destroyer, because, you know, it's just inaccurate. It's going to be inaccurate no matter where you place your minifigures. It's a playset, that's what it's supposed to be, so you really can't expect any more than that. But the exterior does look really nice. It's got its share of stickers. You can see one on the command bridge there. Apparently this set will include a poster, which is definitely pretty cool. I guess you can look forward to that. And then you got the green spring-loaded shooters. You have turrets on both sides. You have 4 on either side. And you know, like I said, pretty similar concept to the previous. It opens up in just about the exact same way. It looks very similar on the interior. You have a lot of control panels and plenty of stickers to go around. And you know, you got like little desks here and there. It's really just primarily a lot of control panels that you have on the interior, but it's still pretty cool. You have some chairs that can rotate in there as well for the Imperial officers to man. I mean, you got little quarters for Darth Vader, a mouse droid. How can you go without a mouse droid when it comes to Imperial Star Destroyer? And I just think it, you know, maybe could be a little bit more less technic looking, if you will, because it's, while it is a really nice design and it does work for the most part, there's just a lot of Technic exposed in a lot of areas that makes this seem less and less minifigure friendly, but that's a minor gripe. I mean, you can't really avoid that for the most part, so it's understandable in a lot of ways, and just a very minor nitpick. And then you have the engines on the back, which are definitely looking pretty fancy with those transparent pieces and those larger engines. Pretty awesome. And then you can see on the back of the box you have a ton of action shots showcasing just exactly what you can do with the Imperial Star Destroyer here, and you've got, you know, clearly they are using that Emperor Palpatine hologram piece to their advantage. I mean, it's pretty awesome. So you have them all gathering around it and idolizing it because it's pretty cool. But yeah, so then you can see something that wasn't revealed in those photos is the simple fact that you can actually open up a little hatch on the back, which I believe just stores more of the spring-loaded shooters, so you can just pull them out and reload really fast. It doesn't really seem to be serving any other purpose aside from that, and a nice action shot in the top right corner. But for the most part, that's really it for the Imperial Star Destroyer, guys. And like I said, the Imperial Star Destroyer means a lot to me as a set, because when I was first starting with LEGO Star Wars, this set was, you know, like my dream that I would eventually get, and then I got it, and then I didn't finish it because reasons that are scary. So looking forward to it, definitely. This is the Snowspeeder, and I think I can't even remember the last time the LEGO Group sold a Snowspeeder separately. I think this is another one of those sets that we haven't seen sold separately in like 10 years, but it's been all over. Like every Hoth set that the LEGO Group released, you had a Snowspeeder up until this point, so nothing to complain about. But I mean, for the most part, the Snowspeeder is the same. I mean, you have a few little piece changes here and there, but for the most part, this Snowspeeder is the same. But starting off with the minifigures, we do have the pretty, you know, this is more or less the expected minifigures for this set. We've got Luke and Dak and a Snowtrooper. I mean, that's practically the predictable minifigures, and that's okay because they're cool and they are updated. However, Luke and Dak's helmets are not new. There are no updates to be made because they're, you know, fine as it is. But what was updated would be their heads, and while I am fond of Dak's head, I am not fond of Luke. I just think the LEGO Group got Luke's mouth wrong on this one, and kind of makes him look older than he does. And you guys know me, I paint a lot of my own faces, so I know this crap. And that crinkled looking mouth makes him look older than he should. But you can see that the torso designs are practically the same on both of them. It's the very standard X-Wing pilot torso. While it is detailed and awesome and is accurate, we've seen it before, and the same can be said for the legs with the straps on them, and the pouches still look great, but we've all seen it before. And something to note on here is while Luke has a normal pistol, Dak has the giant new blasters, which I still don't have a solid name for that I can just refer to them as off the top of my head. So it's a little bit inconsistent there. Honestly, that breaks the whole idea that the LEGO Group was only going to include these blasters in battle packs, because now they just have them mixed up in sets. So one minifigure can have a blaster, and then someone else can have one of the new blasters all in the same set. So that's inconsistent, and honestly, if LEGO wants to make the change, they should just get it over with. But I can see why, you know, it's kind of weird. It would be kind of weird to have the entire LEGO Star Wars lineup just consisting of those blasters, because they do look pretty funny for the most part, and I think the LEGO Group realizes that, and that's why they haven't drifted too far away from the normal blasters that we've been used to for so many years. But you can see right here, Luke does have an alternative facial expression with his visor lifted up a little bit and a more confident looking facial expression. And honestly, I think that one is the one that I will use on my Luke when I get this set, because that looks a little bit more like Luke than the other one does. So definitely more fond of that facial expression. And you'll notice that Dak here, his alternative facial expression kind of has the more frightened I'm gonna die look, because he does eventually get shot and dies, and yeah, that happens. So their torsos, the back of their torsos are practically the exact same. Practically the entirety of the minifigures are the same aside from their heads and helmets, but definitely really nice and great updates to those minifigures. And we do have a Snowtrooper in this one as well, and it's great that we're getting the Snowtrooper in another set, at least one other set, because you all know that we're going to try to get these Snowtroopers and make Galactic Marines. I mean, come on. So it's great to see that it's at least in another set, making it just ever so slightly easier to get these in a large larger quantity, and having them in multiple sets makes them just a little bit cheaper, so that's a good thing. And once you already heard my opinion on them, they're fantastic. It's just I don't know why they have clone heads. But yeah, there are your minifigures for the Snowspeeder. Looking forward to it. Now, FBTB didn't really cap a lot of photos of the Snowspeeder because, like I said, it's literally just the same thing with a few piece changes and a few different stickers here and there. So, I mean, it's cool, but if you've been in the LEGO Star Wars community as long as I have, you've seen enough Snowspeeders that you probably don't need to even see this part of the video. But you have some different sticker changes that have never been seen on Snowspeeders before, a few piece changes, including some color variety change here and there on the Snowspeeder. It's got less orange and more gray on this one. It's got the spring-loaded shooter, so that's a new feature, but I mean, still nothing really worth noting. You have the harpoon that descends and ascends from the back, but something you might notice on the back there is you can take Dak's pistol, the new pistol, and attach it to the back. As a matter of fact, they probably include a separate one just for that so he can keep his own. But I mean, for the most part, it's just the same Snowspeeder, and you're really not getting anything new here. So clearly, this is something you're probably going to want for the minifigures and or just to go with your AT-AT. Nearing close to the end of this analysis video, we have the Jedi Scout Fighter, and just like Jek 14 Stealth Starfighter, this is yet again a set based on the Yoda Chronicles, which I myself didn't watch, and if it's still going, I'm not watching. But I mean, if you've seen any of the Yoda Chronicles, you'll probably know more about this than I will. But from what I see here, the design is really cool and clearly non-canon. This never actually appeared in any official Lucasfilm Star Wars material, but it's still pretty cool and a great design on the LEGO Group's part. Definitely looking better than Jek 14 Starfighter was, and I honestly absolutely hated that set. But moving on with the minifigures here, we do have Jek 14 himself. Now, unlike his original appearance in his Starfighter, he does not have the same Phase 2 helmet with the same, 501st shaped red markings on his helmet. Instead, he's got a Stormtrooper helmet for whatever reason. And to be completely honest, wasn't he a bad dude? I mean, why is he riding around in a Jedi Scout Fighter? I don't honestly know myself, I don't watch it. But regardless, you'll notice he does have a Stormtrooper helmet, which is wrong. I mean, if this is taking place during the Clone Wars, he shouldn't have a Stormtrooper helmet. You know, LEGO with this whole Yoda Chronicles thing, they really don't give a damn about what they do in their designs with the minifigures, and as a result, the printing on this Stormtrooper helmet for Jek 14 looks really strange, as you'll notice his eyes, the printing for his eyes, they go above the ridge line of the Stormtrooper helmet and look creased and honestly very odd, and really not fond of his helmet, just really dull looking in comparison to the previous. And the torso though is really nice. I really do like the new straps being implemented with Jek 14, definitely pretty cool, nicely detailed, and very reminiscent of the rest of the LEGO Star Wars 2014 clone troopers that have been released with the new winter lineup. And new leg printing is also really nice as well, definitely better than, once again, his predecessor version in the Jek 14 Stealth Starfighter. And then we have an Ithorian Jedi Master, and you guys might remember that one Jedi from the original Clone Wars. I'm talking way back in 2003, way before the Clone Wars we all knew and love, even existed. And you saw a Jedi who eventually got killed by Grievous, but he was a pretty cool Jedi in that micro series. So it's really great to finally see this species. It's a very well-known species in Star Wars, and it's about time. It's been way too long, and it's really, like I said, it's finally here. This Ithorian, an actual Ithorian mold and an actual Ithorian Jedi. It looks great. The green lightsaber, the torso printing, the printing on his back, the legs, all looking fantastic. No complaints with this guy, and just really glad he finally made an appearance. Clearly, he's not the same Jedi from that series, but I'm saying, you can make your own with this, and it's honestly the reason I would buy this set. And then we also have a RA7 protocol droid, and this droid is similar to that of the droid that you guys might remember way back in the Clone Wars movie back in 2008, who the Anakin and Ahsoka were met with when they were on the planet of Teth hunting down Rada the Hutt. It's that same droid, not the same droid, but I'm saying the same type of droid. He's a pretty cool droid as well, and once again, this is another one of those things that really should have been made a long time ago, but I'm really glad that the LEGO Group did make it now. It looks great, torso looks great, legs look great, no complaints with this guy. However, I think the eyes look a little bit unfilled, and maybe if the LEGO Group was able to put some black printing on his eyes, it would have really topped this off, similar to that of Greedo, and maybe put some like white dots in it. It would have really really topped off the head mold, but I mean, it is still a really nice mold regardless, not to mention the back printing and the whole weathered look to this guy. Really great minifigure, but I definitely think the Ithorian Jedi Master is the way to go if you want to get this set for the figures, and Jek 14 does also have the same exact head that he had with his personal Stealth Starfighter from last year. So yeah, now the actual Jedi Scout Fighter itself is pretty awesome in its own regard. Real quick, before we move on to the actual Jedi Scout Fighter here, I left out the fact that there is an Astromech Droid included with this set. He's a more of like a tannish, you know, silver gunmetal mix with some dark blue as his primary color Astromech Droid. He doesn't even have his own personal like code number. He's just literally an Astromech Droid, and that's kind of upsetting for him anyway, because he just kind of seems like he's a nobody. He doesn't even get his own personal number, so he's included with the set as well. And the Jedi Scout Fighter itself, you see the Jek 14 Stealth Starfighter from last year, it was lame looking if you ask me. It had a pile of Technic underneath it, which was completely unnecessary, and it doesn't seem like the Jedi Scout Fighter suffers from that same problem. It actually seems like it's an acceptable looking ship, and it looks great. The color variety with the whites and grays and dark reds colors that were used with this look fantastic, and similar to that of a Snowspeeder, you can see two pilots back to back in the main cockpit, and FBTB wasn't able to gather that many photos of this one, so we're going to be basing this primarily off of the back of the box. Now, looking at the back of the box, you'll notice that there is a hatch that opens up from the back, revealing what is, I would assume, to be another holocron. Holocrons seem to be really popular in the backs of ships now when it comes to LEGO Star Wars sets, so it looks really great. And there is an actual slot where you can you know, store Jek 14's lightsabers, so that's really great as well. And yeah, so moving on, you'll notice that we do have a rotatable cannon on the very back, which looks great, utilizing some transparent green cones for the tips of its, you know, cannons, and it looks great. And using some robot arms with that as well, looking awesome. Not to mention the actual cockpit itself can detach, acting as sort of an escape pod, and similar to that of the Phantom, which we went over earlier. So pretty awesome. And looking right next to the you know, the protocol droid included with this set, you'll notice that there are two holocrons actually, so that confirms what I was just saying. There are two holocrons, one green and one blue, so that's pretty great. And not to mention, you do have these spring-loaded shooters on the top of this thing, so spring-loaded shooters are really starting to show up now, and flick-fire missiles are slowly working their way out of Star Wars sets. But for the most part, that's pretty much it for this one. And honestly, I actually really do like the look of this thing, so I think it'll probably last in my collection for a while, and I probably won't bust it down, because you look at it and it's reminiscent of pre-Vizsla Starfighter. It's got a little bit of a Snowspeeder in there, and it's got a little bit of the Jedi Interceptor in there with the wings that fold up on the sides. It's just really cool how they kind of incorporated various concepts of various different ships within the Star Wars universe into this one, making it look really great with the white and red color scheme. So I'm definitely fond of this design, and hopefully what I've been saying here lives up to what I'm saying it is, because it looks like it'll be a pretty good set. For the second to last set of this analysis video, we have one of the more higher anticipated sets, the B-Wing. And I missed out on both the B-Wing in 2006 and the UCS one in 2012. So this is pretty exciting for me personally, because I think I will definitely go after this one, and hopefully a lot of you will too, because there are a lot of reasons to like this set, and we'll get into them with the minifigures. And starting off here, we have 10 Nub, and he's a really cool minifigure utilizing a reprinted version of the A-Wing pilot helmet. He's got a very similar head to the original, aside from the fact that he doesn't have the sort of breather over his mouth anymore, but he is still really cool. And you can see his torso, which is obviously a red torso, and he's got a pair of red legs with a white belt, all with us, you know, accurate printing that really does look great. And as it continues down onto the legs with different tubing and straps here and there, it just really looks great and accurate to the character, and that's why I'm really fond of it. And here you'll notice that we also have in this set, we also have a General Aaron Kraken, and he's pretty awesome, especially for the legs. Those legs, for purists, those are pretty useful in terms of making combinations with your figures, and I might be mistaken. If I am, be sure to let me know in the comments below so I'm not giving away false information here, but if I'm not mistaken, that might be the first time we're receiving that hairpiece in gray, or at least one of the only times we've received it in gray. Regardless, you'll notice that his head is new and has the same sort of heads that we've been seeing with the 2014 sets on you know, the original trilogy side of things, and the facial expression itself for him is really nice and very accurate and great to see, not to mention the torso as well, which has the sort of clip attached to the right side of his chest there, and the belt underneath his jacket really does look great. And then the other character in this set we've got the gray squadron guy, dude, bro, and he's pretty awesome. You can see he does have a new helmet piece, and the helmet is really great, I gotta say. It's pretty awesome, and I think all of us can probably find some use for that down the line. It's just pretty freaking cool, and the printing is all awesome. He's even got his own headset molded onto there with printing on top of that. He's got Arabesh writing all over there, the red striping, just a phenomenal piece, and I couldn't ask for more on that. Not to mention the head. The head is just super awesome. If you remove it, he's got this sort of like purple visor, purplish pink, super cool, something we've never really seen before, and this minifigure is really unique for that reason, not to mention the alternative facial expression, which is nothing really that cool, but definitely can be used for something, I'm sure. And the torso and legs are unbelievably detailed. Really do love the design on that, and really do appreciate the tubing extending past the legs, you know, or past the belt down onto the legs, and the pouch also looking awesome, and the back printing not as exciting, but still a really solid minifigure and super awesome. And something else to note on with the minifigures here before we move on to the B-Wing itself is that 10 Num does have an alternative facial expression. If you swap it around, you'll see that he does have that same sort of mask, you know, breather that I was talking about previously that the one in 2006 had. So really solid set of minifigures, especially for a set of this size. This B-Wing is actually, it's pretty similar to the previous B-Wing from way back in 2006. It's not entirely the same. Clearly it's got its own set of differences, but I mean, in terms of general concept and piece usage in some areas, it's pretty close. But you'll see that the design itself is really great, and it's got all the features you would expect from a B-Wing. They're all there. Both the wings that fold upwards and downwards do fold in just like they should, and you know, this is another one of those sets, like I mentioned before, that I missed out on. I never got the original B-Wing or the UCS B-Wing, so this is really exciting for me personally. And you'll notice that this set does have its own share of stickers, the orange circles on the plates on the wings, to the different like little detail sticker you have planted on the back of this thing right above the engines, and the engines look very nice, by the way. And you'll also notice that we do have a set of course, spring-loaded shooters, and the spring-loaded shooters are, like I said, slowly pushing out the flick fire missiles as it seems. So I mean, it's really, like I said, it's a B-Wing. You guys know B-Wings. The LEGO Group managed to recapture the look of a B-Wing in a great way, and I love the flaps that are planted in the very front of it, attached to some clip pieces, you know, toward the interior area of it. Looks really great, and the cockpit itself is also very nice. Clearly only being able to seat one minifigure, and that minifigure, to be correct, would be either 10 Num or the Gray Squadron. And for the most part, this is a really great looking vehicle, and maybe it's a little out of scale. Maybe they could have made it a little bigger, but for the most part, I'm still pretty fond of it, and I think this is one of the more highly anticipated sets out of this wave in comparison to some of the others that we went over in this analysis video. So I'm looking forward to this, and really looking forward to reviewing it as well. So let's go ahead and move on with the advent calendar, and we'll conclude this super long analysis video that I hope you stayed through. And of course, the advent calendar. And really hate to say, but I missed out on the advent calendar last year in December, and because, you know, in 2012 when they had the advent calendars, I procrastinated and I waited till December 1st, and then I ran out and got it that same day, and it was no problem. You know, they were still practically falling off the shelves at Walmart, but last year was a totally different story. They were just gone everywhere, and they shot up to like $100 on eBay. It was insane. So if you're planning on procrastinating for your advent calendar at the end of this year, don't do it. But moving on, you'll see that the main figure that you'll probably be obviously getting on Christmas Eve is Darth Vader, and he looks great in a whole Santa getup. Really awesome, with some presents attached to his utility belt instead of the actual details that we would expect. Really cool design, and honestly, probably one of the better Santa-oriented Star Wars minifigures we've received with the advent calendars. Really exciting. And then we do have General Reekin included with this set, so it's great to see him again. Not to mention Dak Ralter, who's also included with his new printed head. This mini Snowspeeder and what appears to be a mini sort of like, you know, Hoth base for General Reekin, which has the new blaster attached to it. And then you'll also see we do get the old style Snowtrooper words, which is unfortunate because the LEGO Group finally made some new Snowtroopers and they did not make their way into this advent calendar. We do get a standard TIE Fighter pilot, we get a cannon for the Snowtrooper, the Imperial shuttle, a TIE Fighter, we get a Clone Trooper, the new Clone Trooper, but of course LEGO Group found a way to skip out on giving us the helmet, and they gave us a Santa hat. And I'm mad because I wanted that helmet. They could have easily given the Santa hat to like Dak Ralters or General Reekin, but no, they took away the Clone Trooper's helmet, and of course, what else would you expect from LEGO? But moving on, you'll notice alongside this awesome Santa Darth Vader, we do get R2-D2, and according to information that I've received, that is actually R2-D2 just styled up as a Christmas tree. Maybe not. Maybe it's just the standard Astromech Droid, but from what I've been told, that is in fact R2-D2 with a freaking star on his head and an elongated dome and ornaments and dark green for his color scheme. That's weird for R2-D2, but awesome. That is super cool. And like I said, Darth Vader here in his Santa getup and R2-D2 as a Christmas tree, easily some of the better Christmas minifigures we received in advent calendars. And then we also do get the new Luke Skywalker, which does have the new head and the new leg printing from the Mos Eisley Cantina, so it's great to see him appear in another set. And then we do get that same Harvester type thing that I still don't have the name of. Please don't judge me. I apologize for that. But then we do get a land speeder with Luke as well, a Y-wing that looks like literally the exact same Y-wing we've seen in previous advent calendars, so that's kind of unfortunate. But then we get a super battle droid, a vulture droid, a Jedi interceptor. We do get the new AV7 cannon, miniature version of that. Check it out. Looking forward to that probably the most out of all of these. We do get a speeder bike with some presents attached to the back of it, and that's pretty much it from the pictures that we've received of the advent calendar for 2014. And you can see on the box there as well, we do get a fireplace to store Darth Vader's lightsaber. And I mean, honestly, this looks exciting. This looks like it'll be really great, and the minifigures look awesome, and I'm really liking some of the new designs implemented with this one. It really looks great, and for that reason, I'm really looking forward to this and the rest of these sets, because this has been my longest analysis for like ever. So if you stuck around to the end of this video, thank you so much, and because I put a lot of work into recording this and editing it all together, it wasn't easy, so it really means a lot. But yeah, leave me a comment if you did, because it's really cool. I mean, I put a lot into this, so yeah, let's go ahead and conclude this analysis video, and I can get back to reviewing some of the new 2014 winter sets that I just picked up from Toys R Us. So that about does it for the LEGO Star Wars summer analysis for 2014, and it was my longest analysis ever, as I just said, so you're awesome if you stuck around. And yeah, so if you enjoyed this analysis video, or if you stuck around to the end, I mean, if you're a fan of Rooster Teeth, it's just like watching an episode of The Patch. It's not too much longer than that, so I mean, if you're used to watching them, you can probably stick around through this. And hopefully you did. And if you did, be sure to leave this video a like below, as when I say your support really does go a long way, I really do mean it, because when I'm in the middle of moving and I'm living in a condo waiting to move into our house in the next 2 weeks, it can be pretty challenging to be bouncing around Walmarts and Toys R Us's trying to find sets, and while working on my biggest analysis video yet in the interim, and trying to get it out as soon as I can to you guys while ensuring it has the same quality that is expected of me. So once again, if you just hit that like button, it goes a lot further than you'd think, and it means a lot. So you can also follow me on Twitter and Facebook. Links to both of those are also in the description below, as always, and there I post all kinds of behind-the-scenes photos and updates of whatever I'm up to and what's to come for my channel, including all kinds of new custom minifigures and upcoming reviews that I will try my best to get to you guys efficiently and quickly. That was a Skype sound, by the way. But yeah, so these sets, awesome. I mean, sure, they're not as exciting as the summer wave from last year or the winter wave, I've been recording too much, wave from this year that I'm still working on getting the rest of. I have 5 more sets that I have to grab out of the new Star Wars sets, so, I mean, yeah, it's great. The AT-AT is awesome. The Cantina is awesome. I think what's the best part about this entire lineup, I mean, for me personally, I'm looking forward to the Ghost the most. Let me know what you guys looking forward to the most, because I've heard a lot of mixed thoughts about these sets. But I mean, I never got an AT-AT, so I'm looking forward to that. I never got the Mos Eisley Cantina or a Greedo minifigure ever, and so I'm looking forward to that, you know, and the Imperial Star Destroyer. I never finished building it. I'm looking forward to that too. You know, LEGO making remakes isn't necessarily a bad thing, because to those of us who were immature at a young age when the LEGO Group released the first version of these sets, it gives us a second chance, you know, to get these sets and enjoy them, you know, being older. So it's pretty awesome. I mean, this lineup is a lot more original trilogy oriented. You don't have any prequel sets aside from Jek 14's Jedi Scout Fighter, which can be considered a prequel set, but not really, because it's not even canon to Star Wars. It never actually existed in any official material. So, I mean, it's a complete, official, you know, original trilogy-oriented lineup, and that includes the Rebel sets, because it takes place, the Rebels series will practically be taking place in what you can consider the original trilogy era of the, you know, the early Galactic Civil War. So, I mean, these sets are really exciting. I really hope they'll be priced appropriately, and really praying that Star Wars Rebels will shape out to be the best show that could have happened for Star Wars. So I think that's about all I wanted to say, guys. I'm sure I wanted to say more that I forgot, but I've been recording way too much, and I need to finish this so I can edit it all together and get it up for you guys. So yeah, that's it for this analysis, and I will see you guys later. Alright.
Bye!
You can see we do have, I don't even know their names. I should have looked at that. Cantina playset itself, the land speeder, and then the, what the hell are those things called again? Gosh damn it. We've still got 3 to go here, but this one is the Snowspeeder. I just renamed the Snowspeeder to Snowspeeder, so deal with it.